when we come to Madhuban, we have a very busy schedule. We can be a little bit slack, in following the routine of the Brahmin life when we are in our homes, when we are in our countries, maybe because we are alone and we are not having the cooperation of all the members of the family. So it could be possible that we can just become a little bit slack. But when we come to Madhuban, the atmosphere is such that it automatically wakes us up at the right time, and the routine is set in such a way that we just keep following it automatically and naturally. Is this your experience? Yeah? Do you find it difficult to follow the routine? So how do you feel since you wake up this morning for Amrit Vela? You already had one class, Amrit Vela. Then you had meditation before Murli. Then Murli. Then now another class. So, are you tired? Do you feel sleepy? Are you alert? Are all of you alert? I don't hear the voice. Okay, then I know you are there. Particularly this kind of time, of the day, middle of the day. Somebody had asked me to take up this topic. We talk about so many types of management in Brahmin life. Somebody requested if I can share some thoughts on how to overcome sleep. Do you like the topic? Yes. Of course, it is not because we are sleepy we are taking the topic, but we want to become the conqueror. When we talk about becoming the conquerors of the world, so all types of conqueror, we have to conquer everything. Conquer vices, conquer matter, conquer weakness, conquer Maya, conquer the sins. Of course, conquer sleep also. No, particularly this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. Arjuna was given the title, Nidra Jeet, hey conqueror of the sleep. So definitely in this confluence age, we have become Arjunas. Arjuna means the one who takes the initiative to overcome sleep. And that is why we are given that title. Of course, we all need to sleep. We all need to eat. These two things we cannot deny. Right? Can you do without eating? You can do without it for a few days. So that whatever reserved energy you have in your body, you can use up. Can you do without sleep? Maybe one day, a few days, but not lifelong. So why do you think we need to sleep and we need to eat? Anyone? Because we all do this, right? It is not something strange. So why do we need to sleep and eat? Why? Sustenance to the body, that's right. What else? Soul get rest. Okay. Why do you eat and why do you sleep? You don't know. To get energy. So that means I lose energy in my waking hours. When we are awake, we use our body. Just like you put petrol in the car and drive the car, after some time the petrol will be empty in the car. So you got to put more petrol. So we use the energy, so we have to put back the energy. And that is why to restore energy, we need to have that sleep. We need to eat. But one thing that comes as a myth in Brahmin life, many of us think to become the conqueror of sleep means not to sleep. Not to sleep, because there is a fear that if I sleep too much, maybe I will not get the title of becoming the conqueror of sleep. So this question always comes in our Brahmin life. How many hours sleep do you need to feel energetic? To feel that energy within my body and soul? Even doctors have suggested you need 6 hours, maximum 6 hours quality sleep. If you do anything more than that, you will always feel tired. And of course, the quality of sleep is connected with our quality of thoughts. See, if you have been thinking too much or worrying too much, then that day you will not fall asleep very fast. Even though you go to bed, you may not sleep. And that is why when you wake up, you don't have good Amrit Vela. When you wake up, you feel tired, lethargic. Because the body is made out of elements of matter. And so matter needs to have that kind of rest. And if I don't give that amount of rest to the body takes that rest in wrong timings. That is why many times Dadi Janki has to remind us during Murli class, during meditation, don't close your eyes, don't fall asleep, keep awake. You hear her so many times reminding us. Why? Because we have not given that right type of sleep to the body, relaxation to the muscles, so it takes that rest in the wrong time. So it is sensible, it is to be knowledgeable to look after the body properly so that we are able to take the benefit to empower the soul. So, first of all, I need to understand that my thinking is very much connected with my quality of sleep. My eating is very much connected with the quality of my sleep. The consciousness with which I eat also has an effect on my sleep. So this is why, Baba has taught us that it is not just enough to eat vegetarian food, but it is also important to cook in Baba's remembrance, offer it to Baba, eat in Baba's remembrance, so that that power of remembrance purifies the matter. And when that food goes into my body, it gives me that kind of purity. And that actually helps me to bring quality of sleep. So many times we tend to become little bit careless in keeping those kind of attention, cooking offering, eating in Baba's remembrance. Then the second thing, why we feel always lethargic, always a kind of sleepy feeling, tired, is not because we are physically tired. It's my mental tiredness. Because when you feel physically tired, and if you take an hour rest, the body is okay. But sometimes some people sleep for long hours, but they still feel very exhausted, very run out. The reason is their mind. The type of thoughts that they are thinking actually drains a lot of energy. So I need to pay a lot of attention towards the quality, the pattern of my thoughts, so that I don't lose that energy unnecessarily. The second reason why we get tired is not that because we are doing too much work. Some people do little work, but they get tired more than others. Why? Because they are not organized in using the energy properly. Because mind and body are connected. Whatever happens to my mind affects my body. And whatever happens to my body affects my mind. And so some of us are not properly organized. We use our physical energy unnecessarily towards those kind of jobs which can be used without using that energy. And so when it comes to important job, we feel exhausted. We cannot do it properly. And that has an influence on my mind. And so that doesn't allow me to sleep well. So I remember once one sister was asking this question to Dadi Janki, she is not a lazy person. Actually, she is quite alert. And so she was asking, what is the reason that every time I sit in yoga, the moment I sit in yoga, I fall asleep. Otherwise, I am okay. So actually, Dadi said, because you are disorganized. You are not organized in using your physical energy. Because once this question was asked to Dadi Janki, how does she feel so alert and so energetic all the time? So Dadi gave 3 reasons. One is, Dadi said that I don't think waste. I don't think waste. So I don't lose energy, no drain of energy. Second thing is that I allow Baba to use his energy to do the job. I don't use my energy. Because many of us think whatever we are doing it. And that is why when that consciousness of I comes, automatically that ego drains energy. So Dadi says she allows Baba to do the work because he got lot of energy. So let him use his. It is his job. She invokes Baba in every action that she performs. And sometimes she has said that she keeps her energy locked, She doesn't use it. Let Baba use his energy. And she just allows him to use her to use his energy. So she doesn't feel drained. And the third yukti that she uses is performing a lot of charitable action. Charitable actions. Actions at the cost of one's own comfort to bring happiness to others. See, one is donation, an action that performs at being a donor. The other is a charitable action. Actually, that brings lot of energy back. And that is why you can feel Dadi is 90 years, but she looks 9 years old, as Nirvabai said the other day. So what we need to do is actually become little bit organized. Understand accurately when I should use my mind, where I should use my mind, how much I use my mind, how much I have to use my physical energy, and where. So if I am able to have that kind of attention, I can store a lot of energy. Drops and drops makes the well. So you can keep saving one drop here. As a result of that, automatically you feel the level of your energy never drops. So that is another reason why we feel sleepy. Is not that we are lazy. It's not due to laziness. Some people, of course, it may be possible that due to laziness, one can feel sleepy, but this is because of disorganized life pattern. The third reason for that is a kind of carelessness. So sometimes Baba has said in the Murli, carelessness is a kind of half sleep. We are not fully sleepy, but we are a kind of half sleep. When someone is half sleep, what happens? They will be speaking certain things and they will be doing certain things without even their knowledge. So this Maya that comes in Brahmin life in the form of royal carelessness, that is actually even more dangerous than the real sleep. So even though we woke up from the sleep of Kumbhakarna, the sleep of ignorance, but we take a nap in between mentally. And that is why it actually makes us move backwards instead of moving forwards. So in what way do we take that nap? In what way do I become careless? Now, as Sister Moini was mentioning one example, when we see someone in the knowledge for 20 years and we see ourselves being only for 10 years, so we console ourselves and we convince ourselves saying, it's okay, this person is also doing it, if I do it, doesn't matter. Nobody has become perfect. When we see somebody making mistake, we compare, oh, this one is making 10 mistakes, I made only one mistake. So when that kind of comparison comes, we tend to become careless. Or when we compare ourselves with others, sometimes hopelessness can also come. A fear can come into my life thinking, oh, everybody is moving forward. I am the only one who is left. So that fear can hold me back and that can cause a lot of pain, which will not allow me to have that kind of quality sleep that gives me that energy. So don't think that sleeping for 8 hours, giving rest to the body is anything wrong, but it should be in such a way that it doesn't pull me towards itself. Now, what it means to be the conqueror of sleep? It means that you should be able to wake up whenever you want. You should be able to sleep whenever you want. Of course, you can set your alarm, but you don't depend on your alarm. When I have the thought I want to sleep, I go to sleep. When I have the thought I want to wake up, that is your alarm. So if it is working well, then it is understood that I have become the conqueror of sleep. Now, of course, very interesting question I want to bring here is who actually sleeps? Is anybody sleeping now? I don't think so. Huh? Who sleeps actually? When we wake up in the morning, what do we say? I had a very good sleep last night. Or sometimes we say, oh, I couldn't sleep. So who slept? Who sleeps? Response, please. Huh? How many of you say body sleeps? Only 2, 3. How many of you say soul sleeps? So some of you never raised hand for anything, so you don't sleep. Huh? So you keep awake whole night? Huh? Body. If the body sleeps, then I would say, my body slept very well last night. But what do I say? I say, I slept very well. Intellect. But mind and intellect are quite active when you are asleep. What is dream actually? Dream is only the reflection of your subconscious mind, so it is working. Let me explain in simple words. Many times this comes in Sakar Murlis, that when the soul feels that the soul is using the body whole day, and then when the soul gets tired, when the soul feels that body is tired now, so it goes into sleep, which means it detaches itself from the body. So this detachment of the sense organs, detachment from the body is sleep. Because when you totally detach yourself from the body, you don't even know you slept. The time has passed like just 1 minute, But if you are not able to detach or disengage yourself from the sense organs, your sleep is disturbed sleep. You feel like you are awake, you are asleep, you are dreaming. So this is why in order to have quality sleep, detachment from the body several times during the day is necessary. If you have practiced that detachment from the body many times during the day, so when you go to bed, it is easy to disengage yourself from the body and go to sleep. That is why we always suggest people, before going to bed, you must practice meditation. So when you practice meditation, you become bodiless soul, become totally embodiment of soul consciousness, connect with Baba, and then you fall asleep, you don't even know you fall asleep. That is when you have sound sleep. This is why sometimes we tell people there is a little difference between bodiless stage in yoga and sleep. Because even when you sleep, you become bodiless. And in meditation also you experience bodiless stage. But there is a slight difference. When you are sitting in meditation and you experience bodiless stage, you are conscious, you are awake, and you are doing it voluntarily. So you are giving energy with that conscious awareness. But when you go to sleep, it is an involuntary action. It just happens involuntarily. So you don't really make a note at what time you fall asleep. You don't know. You may have gone to bed at 9 o'clock. You may fell asleep 10 o'clock, 9:30, you don't know. So it's an involuntary action. So this is why after coming to Raj Yoga, I should not have sleep disturbances. No disturbance in the sleep. Why? Because meditation helps me to practice soul consciousness to such an extent that I am able to disengage myself from the body when I want and where I want and how I want. Because many times Baba has said in the Murli that 1 minute of bodyless stage that you experience in meditation gives you that much of energy to the body as if you have slept for 1 hour. So this practice, sometimes even though you don't get 6 hours sleep exactly, but if you have had the practice of bodyless stage, that will automatically energize your body. So this is why go for this practice during the day many times. At least 1 minute in every hour. My experience is that if I have the aim to practice 1 minute every hour, I may be successful few seconds. That's okay. That accumulates, that energy accumulates for you to have quality sleep at night. So that when you wake up, you are totally energized. Because another method that Baba has taught us in order to feel that energy before going to sleep, it is important that I give my report to Baba of the day. Don't carry over today to tomorrow. Because when you carry over today's routine for tomorrow, it makes your mind heavy. And that is why you feel lethargic. You carry the burden. So empty yourself totally. This is how I need to go to sleep, as if I am returning to Parandam. I am dead. Every night I die, and every morning I take a new birth. I am coming from soul world, incarnating into this world to play my part. So that means my intellect is totally clean and clear, not carry over today for tomorrow. Because many times we mix up yesterday, today, tomorrow, and that messy mind always feel heavy. And another important attention we need to keep to energize myself is to, during the day, if I keep my intellect awake and alert, then I feel that energy within my soul. And the method for keeping the intellect alert and awake is churning. So once I remember Sister Jayanti was saying that many Brahmins are not really lazy physically, but they are lazy in their intellect, and that is why they fall asleep, and particularly listening to the Murli or sitting in meditation. The reason is my intellect is not awake. My intellect is not alert. It is not stimulated. It's not motivated. Because see, when you motivate your intellect, when it is stimulated, it cannot fall asleep. You all have experience, no? When you watch television, even after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, how your intellect is so awake. Why? Because it is motivated, it's stimulated. So I need to do it through the power of churning. If during the day, if you create this intoxication through the power of churning, it cannot happen that when I'm in tune with Baba's versions, when I am in tune with Baba's knowledge, I can ever fall asleep. Why people fall asleep in meditation? Because their mind and intellect is empty. And you know, empty mind is devil's workshop. Idle mind is devil's workshop. So when you don't engage your mind and intellect, then Maya will keep it engaged. So this is why it is important to use the power of churning to create that intoxication, motivation, so that when I'm in front of Baba, when I'm listening to Baba's versions, I will never ever have that feeling of lethargy. Because who is speaking to me? You know, you have that awareness. God is speaking. It's God's versions I'm listening to. And God is revealing these secrets which He has never revealed to somebody else. He has chosen me to reveal the secret. Just imagine if somebody is revealing some secret to you and you are falling asleep. Can that ever happen? But I am not aware of it. And the reason, I think, for most of the Brahmins is we take it for granted. You know, we take it for granted. Oh, I know all these things. You know what Baba is going to say. I also know. So we take it for granted. And that taking for granted is a kind of ego that blocks my intellect from receiving. So this is why I need to really motivate my intellect during the day by churning Baba's knowledge. Give assignment to your intellect so that the intellect is constantly busy. So those of us who have that practice, when we sit in meditation, we never fall asleep. Because meditation actually makes us alert and active. So if opposite happens, so that means my intellect is not completely stimulated. Another method that we can use in order to make sure that we become the conqueror of sleep. See, there are two things we use. One is sleep, the other is rest. Now, rest and sleep are two different things. Don't mix up. Yeah? Rest is different. Sleep is different. Actually, what most of us do in yoga is sleep, not rest. And that is why we are not aware of what is happening around us. So what you need to do is to take 4 types of rest during the day so that you can have quality sleep when you go to bed. Then you are ready to receive as you wake up from the morning hours onwards. So because I have not taken that 4 types of rest, so I have not relaxed myself, and that is why the body pulls my intellect. The body pulls my mind, and so I am not able to receive when it is given to me. So one type of rest that we can give for ourselves is what we call it as sensory rest. Sensory rest means eyes. Because eyes is one of the sense organs we use a lot in our daily life, especially in this computer age. Concentrating on the screen all the time, working, it's a lot of strain on the eyes. So what you need to do is every now and then, just shut your eyes for few seconds every hour. Give that eyes that rest, so that the eye muscles can relax, So that is one type of rest I need to give several times during the day. And second type of rest is emotional rest. Because many of us are very emotional. And because of that, we exhaust ourselves unnecessarily and emotionally involved with other people's life, not with ourselves also. So I need to keep my emotions balanced so that I feel at rest, not to get involved in other people's emotions. Because many times we experience burnout because of our over-involvement with other people's emotions. So give yourself that emotional rest, calm, balanced. And the third type of rest is what is called mental rest. Rest for the mind. Think less. In fact, Dadi Janki says, don't think. Because we think too much and too fast and so exhausted. And when you look at the type of thought that comes on the screen of your mind, it is mostly connected with other people. Thinking too much about other people, like minding other people's business too much. As they say, when you mind other people's business too much, your business will go bankrupt. So in fact, actually, it is nothing to do with our body, but because we have been using the mind a lot, and so we get exhausted, and then just we fall asleep. Mind becomes, you don't even know whether you are sleeping or you are awake. Energy drain. So teach yourself to think less and think slowly. I like that point what Moini Ben was saying yesterday, because when you have patience, when you have powerful thought, you have patience in your thought. So if the thoughts are not powerful, you become impatient. And when you are impatient, you think too much. Is that right? So I need to teach myself, in a way, patience in thinking. That means think slowly. Think powerful thought so that it gives some energy. You store energy, mental rest. And then the fourth type of rest is physical rest. Sometimes during the day, maybe we don't get like 2 hours or 1 hour to sleep, but we can take a cat nap, no? Just 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just a cat nap that helps to relax the body. That is called physical rest. So if I have given myself this 4 type of rest during the day, then you find that you will go to sleep when you go to bed easily, and when you wake up totally fresh. So this is very important, and particularly to have powerful Amrit Vela. So I need to wake up fresh. This is my experience, If I become little bit lethargic, little bit lazy in waking up, then my Amrit Vela is spoiled. Because that sleepiness, that laziness, that thought I had in my mind, I did not have enough sleep, will pull me towards sleep all the time. You know what Dadi Janki says? You must wake up with the first thought when you wake up in the morning. That first thought is Sato Pradhan thought. That is Baba waking you up. But when you avoid that first thought, then the second thought is Maya's thought. So consider the second thought as your stepmother's thought. Now, Maya comes to us in the morning as a stepmother. That means she is jealous of us taking inheritance from Baba, So when you don't wake up with first thought in the morning, then Maya gives you very good lullaby, very good commentary. You must have experienced, oh, don't wake up so early, you are so tired, you work so hard, you get sick, and everybody will say you look so pale. You sleep, Baba will understand. So she gives you very nice, comfortable commentary, and I consider that as real. And then what happens? During the whole day, I feel guilty. Why I did not wake up? But this is Maya's trick. So you should understand the first thought that I get in the morning is Baba waking me up. I must come out of the bed and then I will be okay. When you allow the second thought, the laziness lingers on. I want to, just 1 minute. And then it becomes 1 hour. And my experience is that once Amrit Vela is not powerful whole day, you have to drag on the body, You don't feel that energy. And the other yukti I have learned also from one of the seniors in Madhuban, to keep yourself awake for the Murali class, you give yourself a special tuition immediately after Amrit Vela. Tuition. And that is, pick up any Murali, pick up any Avyakt Murali, Sakar Murali, anything, and read it immediately. Don't go to sleep. Many of us have this habit, as soon as Amrit Vela over, we are waiting to rush into the bed and cover ourselves with a quilt. But no. Instead, take up the Murli and read. This is like a personal tuition for me from Baba. My own experience is that I consider that Amrit Vela, after the Amrit Vela meditation, as the prime time to earn my income. And it is the prime time. When you have some prime time, you work for 1 hour, you get double income. So that is the time at that time. So I shouldn't miss out. I can't afford to go to bed at that time. And the reason, if you go to bed at that time, you will come late, you will wake up late, you are hurrying, and you miss the meditation before Murali, and then when you come and sit in the Murali also you fall asleep. Because the intoxication is not there, you see. So this is why I have to train my mind, and I have to remove this myth from my mind. I did not have enough sleep. Because the more you sleep, the more you feel you did not have enough. Actually, the less the quality sleep you have, you remain more alert. So my own experience is that the intoxication, the enthusiasm, the recognition that I have in my mind, what this time is all about, actually keeps me alert. The attainment, keeps me alert. So I need to make that preparation beforehand. And also in connection with eating habits, because this is mental side, but what also affects my sleeping habits is also the consciousness with which I eat, and also the kind of food, even though it can be vegetarian, but certain kind of food doesn't suit certain body. And certain kind of food people have to eat at the right time, not late, not early. So I have to understand the biology of my body, and I respect my body accordingly. So then I am able to experience the cooperation. Sometimes some people eat too fast, And some people eat too slowly. And some people, out of greediness, something is tasty, you just eat plenty. And then you fall asleep. Lethargy comes. But if I am able to understand what the body needs and provide it accordingly in the right consciousness, that cooperation comes to my mind also. So it is the food, the quantity of food, the consciousness, the time that you consume that food also affects my sleep orders, And then the third aspect is, as it was mentioned, in that medical discussion we had, is actually many of us suppress our expressions during the day. Many feelings and expressions that emerge, we do not express it, so we suppress. So that suppressed feelings appear in the form of dreams. So what I need to teach myself is not to suppress those feelings, but of course we cannot express everything. But I need to teach myself to divert, so that I am able to transform that negative into positive feelings. So I don't suppress it, so I won't get more dreams. And second thing, why Baba keeps on telling to transform our old sanskaras. Because the old sanskaras, the subconscious mind, becomes the conscious mind many times. So if I have transformed my subconscious mind totally, then you can see that your subconsciousness is clean and clear, so you won't get dreams actually. Even if there are any dreams, you don't remember. This is what somebody was saying the other day, that, especially when you go to sleep after Amrit Vela, you get always funny, silly dreams. And you feel it is so real, but it is a lot of deception. Because it stops me from doing my routine in a systematic order. So this is why I need to also look after my conscious mind. Whenever thought comes in my mind, instead of suppressing, I need to teach myself to have a dialogue. Intellect and mind has to dialogue and convince my mind and then work together in harmony. This is what many of us do not do. We don't dialogue. Mind and intellect dialoguing and convince my mind and then work together on the basis of Baba's direction. So because I have harmonized my mind, intellect, and subconsciousness, there is no conflict, so I am able to experience good sleep, sound sleep without any disturbance. But if there has been lot of conflict, the conflict is only because I am not aware. I am not having dialogue between the two faculties. Thoughts will definitely come on the basis of my subconscious mind, but I don't need to suppress it. But I have knowledge in my intellect. Using that knowledge, I have a dialogue. And so the mind will be convinced, and then I can work together in peace. So becoming the conqueror of sleep or managing sleep, overcoming sleep, does not mean that you don't sleep enough. But you teach yourself to have quality sleep. Be knowledgeable to understand what the body needs and provide that, and have patience until the body gets into that kind of systematic, order. Because some of us who come to knowledge in the beginning, our lifestyle was different. And so when we change our lifestyle, it takes time, isn't it, for the body to get set. So I need to be patient with myself. So once I am able to understand, the knowledge does not mean just understand the soul, understand God, understand karma philosophy, but also understand my body. What the body needs, and give the body according to the needs, so that the body can cooperate with me. So then when the body and soul work together in harmony, I don't have any problem. So this carelessness, tiredness, laziness, which is the seventh vice, that becomes the greatest enemy for most of the Brahmins to bring this kind of sleepiness physically in wrong timings. So let me check myself and see whether I have any form of carelessness, any form of laziness, any form of negligence. Even that negligence also is a kind of half sleep. It's not awake. And so that piles up over a period of time, becomes like a burden. But if I am able to remove those weaknesses, I think we can easily become the conqueror of sleep. If we have become the conqueror of sleep of ignorance, and we have come into light, it is now only a little bit of work we have to do on ourselves, isn't it? So this, I feel the key word here is enthusiasm. If I have that energy of enthusiasm, then that energy will actually give me that kind of stamina. But once I feel boredom, then that energy is lost. So I become like a flat tire. See, this is why you can remember your own godly childhood days. How you felt when you came in the beginning. Because everything was new and everything was fresh and so much of enthusiasm. But then, as we go along in Brahmin life, that enthusiasm becomes a little bit stale. Because we don't do the homework to create that enthusiasm for ourselves. We always wait for somebody to stimulate. And so that is when we have some kind of hiccups. So this time, when you are in Madhuban, learn some of these techniques that would help you to constantly be alert, awake, so that I am able to become Baba's good instruments. And Baba can use me at any time. In fact, they say that our yoga should be such that even when we are asleep, Baba is able to use me to serve my devotees. In Brahma Baba, when Baba was in Sakar, sometimes Baba used to take dadis around to show what kind of state of mind souls have when they are in sleep. So let us experience that once, few minutes of total bodiless state and see how energetic we can feel. And nobody should fall asleep, but sit alert, totally awake, and just have the awareness of myself being just the point of light and giving rays of light to the body, energy to the body. When you have attention, they say in physics, wherever your attention goes, energy grows. So when you give attention just to be that point of light, the energy that emerges from that point of light gives light to the whole body. People heal physical sickness. It's self-healing. Like when there is a lot of pain in the body, of course, we have to take the medication. We don't deny the medication, but to help ourselves for the medication to work quickly, I can practice this bodiless stage, see myself out of the body as a point of light, and then giving that rays of light to that part of the body where there is pain. It's like radiation, spiritual radiation. Because this is pure energy, it works. Heal faster. That's why we say meditation and medication together heals faster. I was just sharing this thing. I will finish this and then we will invite you to have questions. Because I saw a few hands raising in between when I was talking, so I thought I'd just complete this and then you can come for your questions. I was just sharing that how Baba in Sakar used to take dadis around when all are asleep to show them in what kind of state of mind they went to sleep. Because your face will show the state of mind. So Baba used to show some souls and say, look, this one is sleeping in Tamo Pradhan sleep. This one is Rajo Pradhan sleep. This one is Sato Pradhan sleep. Because they slept in the remembrance of Baba, their face was sparkling. Because it is important that even when I am asleep, when somebody comes and looks at my face, there is service done. Because that is called, sleeping in yoga. But not sleeping in yoga does not mean that I sleep when I'm sitting in yoga. Yoga Nidra, they call it. There is a stage in yoga where you reach to that stage, but you are totally awake. That you are able to serve souls even in that stage. That's why Brahma Baba is remembered. Because even people wanted to go and look at Brahma Baba when he was asleep. How he sleeps. Because sometimes Baba will be in the pose of Vishnu. Sometimes Baba is like lying on the bed as if he's like, in the middle of the ocean, churning knowledge. So Baba's children was very anxious to go and look at Baba, how he sleeps, because even that was doing service. So I should always have that awareness. The moment I have become Baba's child, I am on service. Whatever I am doing, I am on service. Whether I'm eating, whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm walking, whether anything I am doing, I am on the stage. Everybody is watching me. Just imagine, if you have that awareness, how will your action be? Always you will be alert. You cannot fall asleep because you are in front of the camera. You are in front of a tape recorder. Everything you said, everything is being recorded. Everything is being watched. So you will always remain alert. Laziness comes, carelessness comes only when I think nobody is watching me. Before coming to knowledge, we used to think God is watching me. But now, the world is watching me. So I cannot be lazy, I cannot be careless. So that self-respect automatically brings that alertness into our life. So experiment with some of these methods. And so when Dadi comes tomorrow morning, she should see the change in the whole class. Wow, what happened? All are so alert, so awake. So Dadi must know that there's something has happened already. Not only here, but throughout our Brahmin life. Because we are, this Brahmin life is so short. So we have to earn income for 21 births in this short age. So we can't afford. We can't afford to lose anything. So that will automatically keeps me enthusiastic, keeps me motivated, stimulated, so that I don't feel that kind of numbness. When the intellect gets numb, then you fall asleep. Don't allow your intellect to get numb. Let it be always stimulated. Keep giving injection of knowledge. So if you keep injecting the injection of knowledge in the form of intoxication, so the intellect can never get numb, and then you will always remain alert. Okay, so now you're most welcome to ask question. Those who want to ask question, come in the front. Can we give a mic? Okay, because the translators also should get the question, no? Those who raise the hand, come in front, come in front. You can ask question. Yeah, he will give the mic. Yeah. So this is more interactive session. This is the reason we divided into 4 parts so that everybody have an opportunity to come closer and interact. Yeah.
Would you just please tell us the difference between thinking and churning?
Okay. Did you understand the question? Difference between thinking and churning. So thinking is a pattern of thoughts which has no direction. Thinking has no focus. It can be one time here, one time there. It's all over, scattered. But churning is a focused, systematic, disciplined pattern of thinking. And that is why you find at the end of the churning, you attain something. But in ordinary thinking, there is no direction and it is scattered, so there is no benefit at the end of it. So, you understand? So that is why we call, even before churning, we call one stage that as contemplation. Contemplation leads to churning. That means systematic pattern of thinking leads you to churning. Churning is to digest. Churning is to embody the knowledge. So you can do that only when you contemplate. And contemplate means focused thinking, disciplined pattern of thinking. Okay, please come. Who else? Whatever, don't feel that you have to ask question only in connection with the topic. Any question, since you are in Madhuban, any question you have in mind, you have a chance to ask.
Sister, you said you give the raise to the pain of the body through thinking of a soul. Can you deeply explain on that?
What I was mentioning was that when I feel like, say, there is a pain in a particular part of the body, of course I have taken medication and everything, but still maybe I am not able to bear the pain, so I can help myself to, of course, this bodiless stage is that you have accumulated over a period of time when your body is well. That is important. When your body was well, you should practice bodiless stage and accumulate that power and store it. So at that time, you can detach from the body easily, and then that raise, the pure energy will help to heal that pain faster with the medication. But if you have not accumulated the power of bodilessness, when your body was well, it is very difficult at that time to detach from the body. You know, when you have pain in the body is pulling the soul. The soul, because the soul is being pulled towards the body. But if you have practiced the bodiless stage when the body is well, it's easier to detach myself from the body and then give that raise. And I know many souls within the Brahmin family, they have helped themselves in that way. Even Dadi Janki was telling the other day that when she feels pain in the body, what she does is she just lie on the bed and turn her face towards Baba and just focus the intellect towards Baba and take that energy from Baba, and when she wakes up, the pain is gone. No soul world and all that. It is just that awareness of Baba. You know, Baba, the Supreme Soul, the awareness of Baba. and you are detached from the body, and that energy, that spiritual energy, that is what we call mind over matter. When the mind is strong, you can conquer the matter. Please come to the mic if you have questions. Come, both of you can come and wait here.
Shanti, sister, when
You can turn on the mic, yeah. Yeah. Turn on, yeah.
yeah, when
Keep
we,
closer.
when we get tired, we tend to yawn a lot. What causes us to perform that type of action?
Okay. Did you understand the question? Because when you are tired, you yawn a lot. You know yawning? Huh? Somebody can show? And yawning is contagious. I have seen, because if one person sitting next to you is yawning, everybody else in that line start to yawn. And in Hindi, the word that is used is ubasi. Ubasi. Ubasi is yawning. And one of the reasons Baba has mentioned is the nature of being slave. Udasi brings ubasi. When you are subservient, when you are not a master over yourself, your habits, whatever, so that slavery actually makes you yawn. So you got to look deep into yourself. What is that subservience still I have? Any form of dependency, any form of slavery, any form of subservience makes me yawn. You know, like just a simple example. Some people are so dependent on drinking coffee. Just an example. Now today morning they didn't drink coffee. So as a result of that, they are yawning and they are feeling sleepy. And if you ask them why, oh, I know why, because I didn't have coffee today. So drinking coffee is not wrong, but depending on drinking coffee to have good yoga is not right. So that dependency, that habit, that is what makes me yawn. And second reason Baba has given for yawning is thinking, you know, having waste thoughts about others. Because when I am spinning the wrong cycle, I am emptying my energy, and the sign of that empty energy is yawning. So I need to check myself. I don't have any reason for yawning. What makes me yawn today? So then I know the reason. Okay? Yes, brother. I don't think anybody is yawning now.
Thank you. You said that even when you are sleeping, you're doing service. Somebody looks at you and sees and feels the service you're doing. I'm thinking of the disservice. Somebody is snoring, especially in this situation. He's snoring very loudly. He is disturbing everybody else so that everybody will be tired when they go for their meditation.
Yeah.
Is it possible to be Satopradhan and snoring and disturbing everybody else?
No, not possible.
And how do you solve the problem?
No, I think the reason for snoring is many reasons. It's not one reason. There are medical reasons, there are spiritual reasons. So the persons who have that habit, they have to check themselves or get it checked. So of course, you know, sometimes when we come to places like this, we cannot help. So our roommate may be the one who is snoring, so I cannot sleep. So I cannot say that I want a special room for myself. So what I need to do, the yukti, is not to see the weakness of that person, but I need to get my earplug and sleep, sound sleep. Because then I will not get disturbed. But it is not possible that if you have Satopradhan sleep, you can snore. So it is something connected with my physical body, because some people have breathing problem, some people don't know how to breathe properly. So then once they are able to identify the reason, then they can help themselves. Yeah. Come.
Loving Meera Pain. This is not connected with sleep, but could I please ask? Baba has been speaking very much about tapasya in the Murlis. Tapasya and bhakti, would you mind explaining the two? And also, is churning a method that can be used during one of them?
Okay. The difference between bhakti and tapasya. Actually, bhakti is, it is intensity in meditation. It can be tapasya also. Bhakti can be tapasya. Because tapasya is also a heating process. But then sometimes in centers we call it as bhakti, but it is not really bhakti. Bhakti means like if you sit for 2 hours, it's like being in a furnace. Nothing is coming from outside, nothing is going from inside out, any negativity. So we have to prepare ourselves. It's like being in a furnace. So it can be tapasya. Bhakti can be tapasya, provided it is practiced with that kind of method. Because tapasya again means concentration and determination. So if I am sitting in yoga, like say long hours of meditation is called bhakti. When we have 2 hours, 3 hours, we say today we have yoga bhakti. That's fine. But if you have concentration and determination within that, then that can become tapasya. Otherwise, it is only few hours, extra hours of meditation, but you didn't have that power in it. So tapasya is when you create fire, intensity in that remembrance, and that intensity can come when there is determination and concentration. And I don't advise you to churn during that kind of time, but of course you need to have that power of churning beforehand so that you are able to get into that stage. But of course the alternative is if you cannot get into that seed stage or bindu stage, at least instead of having waste thought, it is better to churn the knowledge. But churning the knowledge is not powerful stage in yoga. You can do the churning of knowledge when you are doing mundane activities. What do you do at that time? Where your mind and intellect is going. So once you have done that manan, churning during mundane action, then you can have lagan, connection, intact connection with Baba, and then you can experience magan avastha. Magan means lost in the remembrance. So tapasya actually is to be merged in the love of one. So churning should be before that, not when we are really making time to practice that tapasya. At that time it should be totally concentration based on determination. Yes?
Yes, it's about the bodyless state and the incorporeal state, because Baba talked about one over.
Yeah.
And referring of tapasya, when we are doing tapasya, are we in the bodiless state or in the incorporeal state? Because I understand, I don't know if I'm right, when Baba say come to Parandam, we need to go in an incorporeal state. But when I sleep, really a very good sleep, are we also in incorporeal state? Can you link the...
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely, there is a difference between bodiless stage and incorporeal stage. Bodiless stage is a stage which I experience while I am in the body. You know, like when the soul die, it is bodiless. So when I am experiencing a life of living death, jiteji marna, no? So that means I know I am in the bodiless stage when neither my body, nor bodily relation, nor bodily objects pull on my intellect. Like when I am dead, bodiless stage means to die. So when I die, the whole world is dead to me. So you feel that kind of stage when you are bodiless. But incorporeal stage is the stage of liberation that is in the soul world. So when I am in the soul world, I am in my perfect, complete, perfect form. Full, complete, perfect. So that means I am totally liberated from all karmic bondages. I am totally free. I am totally liberated. So that means I am, like Master God. I am Master Almighty Authority, Master Ocean of Peace, Master Ocean of Love. I am in my eternal stage. But when I am bodiless, I am in the body, but I am not of the body. So that means I am dead to this world. So that is why I can use my body when I want, I can detach from it. So in tapasya, we can practice both stages. Sometimes bodiless stage and sometimes incorporeal stage also. That's fine. But the intensity of that stage should be stronger and deeper. That is what is called tapasya. Tapasya is intense meditation. That means constant. Intensity is created through consistency. So that 2 hours, that block should be connected with Baba intact. Not like fighting, battling with Maya, other thoughts come, then that is not tapasya. No, in bhakti, they used to do tapasya, standing on 1 feet for 1 hour. They will never move. No, tapasya is like maintaining one constant stage even under difficult situations. Sometimes you may not be sitting in meditation, but you are still doing tapasya in the sense that you have not let go of that connection, even if you are surrounded by difficult situations. Like I need to tolerate, I need to endure hunger, I need to endure thirst. I am using all that, yet my connection is intact with Baba. That is also called tapasya. Like when dadis went out for service in the beginning, they did not have any physical facilities. So like I am able to maintain connection with Baba intact even without having any physical facilities. That is also tapasya. Today we meditate on the basis of physical facilities, but I should not depend on them. Using them is not wrong. But if my yoga is based on physical facilities, that is not tapasya. No, like sometimes today we have yoga with the light. We have yoga with the music. We have yoga with the clock. So what kind of tapasya we are doing? We are only looking when the light will be turned white. We are only looking at the clock when the clock will, So no, when you are in tapasya, you are beyond all these material things. Only one. That is called real tapasya. Is that clear? come. So when we say Baba made those dadis do tapasya for 14 years, it does not mean that they were sitting in one place, but they had to go through a lot of hardships, But whilst going through all those stages, but their connection, faith was totally intact. Turn it on.
Shanti, it is the question of sister from Thailand. Sister who is beautiful
It's
one
okay.
there.
Yeah.
She said that she feels empty in intellect, mind, and everything. Although Baba, she didn't want to connect Baba also, and didn't know herself, and she didn't feel to connect everyone, and everything is so empty. What should I do?
I think one feels empty because, whatever Baba is giving, I am not receiving it. So I have to keep my mind open so that I can receive. I have to have an attitude of learning, then I can receive and absorb. Because if my mind is already filled with unnecessary rubbish, I cannot receive. So this is why once we had a class in London, empty and full. So if you want to become full, you have to empty first. So if your mind is already filled with all the past rubbish, whatever Baba is giving, it will flow out, it will not go inside. So you take it out, empty whatever you have in your mind already, then Baba can fill you. Or you can surrender your intellect so that Baba can keep filling, and then whatever is rubbish will come out automatically. There are two methods. If you have a bucket of dirty water and you can't lift that bucket, so what can you do? You can just keep the bucket under the tap and open the tap. When the clean water goes into the bucket, the dirty water will automatically go out. So I can either use that method, but I have to keep my mind empty so that Baba can fill it. So whatever rubbish I am still holding on, let me surrender it to Baba. And then Baba can make my mind, intellect filled with his blessings. Then my yoga becomes easy, my connection with others also becomes good. Okay, one last question. Yeah, okay.
Shanti, you said that the maximum amount of time that we need sleep is 6 hours. What would be the minimum amount of time?
That's what I mentioned in the beginning. Minimum, it's maximum 6 hours. Of course, minimum is not mentioned. You don't need more than 6. If you can do with less than 6, but you don't need more than 6. There is no minimum, but maximum 6 hours. You can. No, that once in a while, if it happens like that, doesn't matter. But on a regular basis, it's 6 hours sleep. That's why we didn't have class yesterday, so you can make up for it. So we gave time for you to make up for that extra sleep. Yeah, it means no, but you need that maximum 6 hours for the relaxation of the body. So you organize your timetable accordingly. Okay, last one. Okay.
The sister from Uruguay has a question that if it's possible to meditate, be in the seed stage and has the eyes closed, if there is any relation between open eyes and closed your eyes.
You don't need to begin meditation with the eyes closed. You can sit alert with the eyes open and natural remembrance of Baba. But when I am in that highest stage of meditation, for a few seconds, for a short while, in that stage of bliss or seed stage, if naturally eyes are half open or closed, doesn't matter. But it is not like whole time you sit with the eyes closed, then you fall asleep. But just for a short while, it's not like totally eyes closed. Sometimes it's half open, or few seconds, you are totally merged in that experience. So you can feel from the face of the person that they are not sleeping. Even though the eyes are closed, for a short while, the face is sparkling. You understand? And then you are emitting that vibrations. That atmosphere will tell you that you are in that powerful stage. So it is not wrong, but not for a long time. You can't sit there thinking half an hour with the eyes closed, I'm seed stage. But in fact, you are sleeping. So we should not confuse and mix up seed stage with the sleep. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for your questions. So from today, this group will be totally conquerors of sleep. Example for rest of the Brahmin family. Yeah?